With less than 5 minutes to go, the guys race to stitch up this challenge.
So what I've done is I've ripped out all the electrical wiring in my hotel room. Saw MacGyver do this once. And I'm gonna use that as my stringers for my parachute. I am feeling pretty darn confident.
And with some last-minute adjustments...
If this is nodding on the ground, what's it gonna do in the air? Oh, man. I got 60 seconds.
The cutting, taping, sewing, and sweating comes to an end.
And done.
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 3 hours, 3 MythBusters, and 3 hotel rooms full of fabric later, and they've got 3 parachutes ready for the drop zone.
You might think it looks a little flimsy, but hey, it's only got to work once.
Is this gonna save Buster's life? I don't know. But if I had to jump off a building and I had a choice between no parachute and this parachute, I guarantee you I'll take this choice. Wow, Carrie, that's a nice looking parachute you made.
Dude, it actually looks like a parachute.
Yeah, it's an artistic rendition of a parachute. Let's see if it actually flies like one.
All right, you ready?
Let's do it. 3.
Later, Buster goes down. And the tension ramps up.
Let's launch the beast.
It's now or never.
But can a motorcycle ever turn motorboat? It's a myth that's hell on 2 wheels. But could a motorbike ever turn motorboat? Well, so far, you can lead a bike to water, but you can't make it skim. However, all is not lost.
Well, I, for one, learned a lot from that test.
Yeah, who knew that you could wheelie across water and your head would fall off?
Look, I want to somehow see if a motorcycle wheel at speed gains real buoyancy on the water's surface. But how are we going to get one of these going 60 or 70 miles an hour on water under controlled conditions?
Well, riding on water says boat to me. So why don't we hang the wheel off the side of a boat?
They make boats that go 70 or 80 miles an hour?
You bet they do.
Yep, with top speeds of over 90 miles per hour, powerboats sure can pace across a pond. But before they feel the need for speed, first they need to rustle up the wheel in the water.
What you got?
Well, at its most basic, this is the boat. This is the motorcycle wheel and scale to that boat. Obviously, it can sit in the water like this, and when we get up to speed, if the wheel does get buoyancy, it would rise up. And then the question is, how much weight can it support? And that's where this comes in. We can put on barbell weights of various sizes.
Okay.
Until we determine how much weight.
Sure.
I think this is pretty straightforward.
It may be straightforward for Adam, but for the rest of us, here's a graphic. The weight of a motorbike means that in water, it'll sink. But if its wheels were spinning at highway speeds, could that keep it afloat? To find out, the plan is to attach a motorbike wheel to a speedboat. Then, as the boat accelerates, the wheel should spin up onto the surface. But will it stay above water as the weight of a rider is added to it? It's a dastardly design. But in the workshop, Adam's galloping through the build.
I don't know, for some reason it reminds me of a horse rearing up. A horse made of steel.
And before you can say chrome pony, his steel rim rig is ready to saddle up. And at a local lake, it's time to put it to the test.
The open air, the sun, there's just nothing not to love about boating, honestly.
Let's get this thing in the water.
Okay. This here is our test platform, 20 feet long with a 300 horsepower outboard engine and a tunnel hull design. She is built for racing, built for speed, and will go between 85 and 90 miles per hour. Perfect for our testing purposes. First up, we need to get our rig bolted to it.
The plan here is simple. Bolt the wheel to the boat.
I claim this scientific rig in the name of MythBusters.
Lower the boat into the water.
Perfect.
And then take it for a spin.
Let's get this party started.
All right.
Are you ready?
Ready.
But almost immediately, it's clear that there's a problem. The tail end is so heavy that the boat's not only taking on water,
You're spilling water over the side there.
its top speed has plummeted.
Our problem is there's so much drag, the boat's not able to get up on a plane where it sits on top of the water. That's where the real speed happens. Jamie's gonna crawl up to the bow. I'm gonna rig the wheel up and we'll see if it works.
So with Jamie clinging on as a counterbalance,
I've actually done this before to hang on top of a car.
it's the moment of truth.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Come on!
At first, it all hangs in the balance, but when Adam gives the wheel a heave, they finally pick up speed.
There it goes.
As the boat clocks 50, then 60 miles per hour. It's clear that the wheel is riding the water, which is great for the myth. What's less great is that this crazy contraption is so dangerous that the guys decide to quit while they're ahead.
All right, I've got some good news and some bad news. I'm going to start with the bad. The bad news is that our rig didn't quite work as planned. We had really wanted to start to add weight and experiment with different speeds of the boat to come up with a graph of speed to weight ratio that would tell us exactly how fast we'd have to hit the water at for the motorcycle wheel to support its rider. And we didn't quite get that. The good news is that even though it took everything we had, we were able to get the boat up on a plane and the wheel skipping across the water, which means that there is something to this, and it means we can proceed with some confidence to full scale that this might just work.
Cornered by the cops, could you improvise a parachute, defeat the free fall, and flee to freedom? To find out, Carrie, Tori, and Grant have unraveled the ripcord and now have 3 makeshift chutes to deploy.
It's time to find out if any of our do-it-yourself hotel parachutes can decelerate Buster gently to the ground. We've come out to Treasure Island on a beautiful day with a crane that can lift him 20 stories into the air. We're going to drop him with each of our designs, but first, the control. No parachute.
Now, to find out exactly what Buster is going to be experiencing in this drop, we're going to attach an accelerometer. Now, for him to survive this fall, he has to withstand less than 100 Gs. For him to survive the fall without injury, he has to withstand less than 10 Gs.
Don't look so sad, buddy.
Yep, once again, Buster will have to do what he does best and take the fall from 200 feet.
All right, here we go. Bye-bye, Buster, in 3, 2, 1.
God, I don't even want to know what the G's are on that.
Well, thanks to the accelerometer,
All right, see what we got.
it's easy enough to find out.
Wow, look at that. 500 Gs.
And he hit the ground at 83 miles an hour. He definitely did not survive that.
But will jumping from 20 stories with a homemade chute be any better?
Now here's why we're hoping our parachutes will work. Gravity acts on all objects, no matter how much they weigh, causing them to fall at the same rate. The only reason why 2 objects won't fall at the same rate is because of air resistance. These 2 pieces of paper, in fact, do weigh the same amount. But this one has a lot more surface area. It has to push a lot more air molecules out of the way to fall down. And thus, in order for this myth to be confirmed, this is what our parachutes will have to do. You ready?
I'm ready.
And first to attempt that is Tori's blackout curtain canopy.
That's something you don't see every day.
Blackout curtain parachute drop in 3, 2, 1.
Amazingly, Tori's chute deployed and slowed Buster down, but unfortunately, not enough to head off the impact.
Oh, Buster lost his hand.
And his hand!
Oh, that is a bad sign.
We just dropped the blackout curtain parachute, and there's some good news, but there's some really bad news. The good news is the parachute opened and it decelerated Buster's descent. However, the bad news, when he hit the ground, he hit it with 160 Gs. That's well over 100 Gs, therefore Buster is dead.
That brings the curtain down on Tori. But Grant's frame-up is still to go.
We got a technical difficulty. Oh boy.
Okay.
Trouble in MythBuster land. The wind has picked up, and apparently Grant's rig does not like that.
Had to be a windy day, didn't it?
Yep, Grant and his frame are all bent out of shape. But can the parachute still bring Buster down safely?
Look, it's Batman!
You guys.
You can be Flatman in a second.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Here we go. This is canopy parachute. In 3, 2, 1. What?
Hey! 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 Woohoo!
Yep, as it turns out, that was an impact of 144 Gs, a quarter of the control, but still a lethal landing.